Hello guys, I'm Nerd and welcome to Web 101. This is a course to actually enlighten you more, build you up for the web journey. So this is all about website development. This course is for website development. So thank you for purchasing this course, and I bet you're never going to regret it. This course has been divided into smaller sections to help you become the kind of website developer you want to become. It is my duty to take you through. My name again is Nerd. Now, this course is totally based on HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so the technologies that we'll be using in this course is the HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. They have versions. Okay, yes, they have versions. So we'll be tackling these versions of HTML5, that is CSS3, and then JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript has versions. We have the ES5, ES6, and the rest. So I would actually introduce you. So we'll go through all the basic things you're supposed to know before you actually start the practical lesson. So now the objectives. We're going to be looking at the prerequisite before studying this course. Also, we're taking a look at the career paths involved within this course. You also get to understand what the web actually is, and then the internet. Okay, we'll dive deeper to understand these two things. Okay, what a website is, or what a web is, or what the internet is. And then we'll get to know who is a designer or a developer. We'll get to know who is a front-end, back-end, or full-stack developer. We'll try to break these three down and then try to explain these three and then further understand these three concepts or these three persons that we're seeing here. Then we'll also talk about the requirements for website development. Before you become a website developer, what are the requirements? What are the technologies you will need to start to get involved with, or to have on with you before you actually become a website developer, or through your website journey? Okay, website development journey. And also we're going to do an intro into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We'll do an intro in that. Then we'll pick up these versions. Okay, HTML5 as a whole course, that is, we break it into smaller pieces or in smaller sections, and then CSS3 into smaller sections, and then JavaScript into smaller sections. Okay, at the end of each section we are going to build a project. So when we are done with HTML5, we're going to do a project with HTML5. When we are done with CSS3, we're going to do a project with both CSS3 and then HTML5. Then we go to JavaScript, then we'll do a project with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then add other functionalities to it. So that will be the 4 objectives. So the first thing we're going to tackle is the prerequisites. Okay, before you take this course, at least you should know what the internet is. You should know what the web is, or what you should be able to work with the web. You should be able to, when we mention what a website is, you should be able to at least tell us that, oh, a website is kind of a document available on the internet or something. Okay, or information available on the internet in the form of documents. So you should know these basic stuff. You should know how to move the mouse. Okay, the computer mouse. You need to at least know how to pinpoint keys on a keyboard and type. So at least you should be able to do some basic computing. These are necessary prerequisites before this course. If you don't know these things, it is good to go on YouTube or any other places or a friend somewhere to guide you through basic computing before you carry on this course. Okay, the reason is it will help you. Okay, because this course is fully practical. This is not a theory course. This is fully practical course. Okay, so you will need to always be moving the mouse, be typing, be doing 1 or 2 fixes here and there. Okay, good. So now let's discuss the career path. After the Web 101, what do you become? You end up becoming a web designer or web developer, or UI UX designer. It's the same as the web designer, but we'll talk about that. Okay, the web designer is more general and the web developer more general, but you can end up becoming either UI designer or UX designer, or both, or you can end up becoming a software engineer. Okay, so these 4, you can end up becoming a member of this path. Okay, this career path. Now let's look at the base salary for engaging in this kind of activity. Assuming you want to become a a web developer, you want to know how much web developers earn. So we have a comparison between Ghana and United States. Okay, so I've intentionally actually picked up a random kind of thing. This is not legit, but it's kind of random, but kind of appealing. So we'll get into that. Let's look at it. That is the base salary, the average base salary of a web developer in the United States and an average base salary of someone in Ghana. So if you look at it very clearly, you can see that a web developer in the United States takes around $70,183 US per year. That is the average base salary. Let me talk about what a base salary is. A base salary is like something like a minimum, the least amount of money you expect a web developer to take. Okay, so a base salary for, let's say, a mechanic, okay, is the least amount of money you think, or it is generalized that this is the least amount of money we know that a mechanic actually takes. Okay, so the average base salary of a web developer in the United States takes around $70,183 US, okay, per year, and per month takes $4,969,000 US, okay, per month. Compared to Ghana, okay, with West Africa here, Ghana, a web developer would take a minimum of 2,500 Ghana cedis per month. Okay, and if you look at the equivalence in the dollar, you can see it's very, very small. It's around like 332.26 US as at 2022. What is today's date? 8th May. Okay, as of today, that is the dollar rate for Ghana cedis. That is 2,500 Ghana cedis. So per month, that is the least a web developer working in a company will be taking. That is average base. Okay, but at least I think least you can be making like 500 Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis as a web developer in Ghana here. Okay, creating a single website, your profit will be like 500 Ghana cedis or like 1,000 Ghana cedis, unless maybe the project is really big, then you can make more than that. If not, our system, West Africa per se, our system is not like, our infrastructure is not like the people in the United States and other places where the infrastructure is high. So you becoming a web developer, you can make a lot of money. Yes, if only you're going to sit your ass down and then follow Web 101, you can make your own money. You get it? Good. So now let's discuss the internet. Okay, let's discuss the internet. Now, briefly, you'll be working with the internet 24/7 as a web developer. You are going to be working with the internet. The internet is a connection of computers. Okay, so I have computer A, computer B. They actually being linked together, and then there's a computer at Europe. There's another computer at Russia. We're combining all these computers together. We have an internet. Okay, internet works because I connecting to someone in Ghana is an internal network here, and then another person connecting to his friend from, let's say, Germany is another network in Germany. Is an internal network at Germany. Okay, it can be a LAN, local area network, or WAN. But if the person in Germany and I in Ghana, my group in Ghana and my group in the group in Germany, in the group in Russia, when we come together, okay, this forms like some kind of internet. Okay, internetworks. Okay, because these are division of networks. So you as a web developer, your duty is actually to create websites that will be visible on the internet. Okay, website that can be accessed on the internet. Good. So now let's look at what is a web developer. What is a web developer? What one will mention web development. What is web development? Okay, so web development is the work involved in developing a website. Okay, when we talk about website development, it's all about putting up a website or coding a website. Okay, trying to write instructions to create a website to be available on the internet or on intranet. Okay, so web development can range from developing a simple static web page, that is a single page, okay, where it doesn't move to any other page. You just have one page, maybe like a landing page. Okay, one single page. Google, okay, Google has this kind of landing page, okay, where you can search. Okay, so when you go to google.com, that page that you're seeing is a single page. Okay, it's a single page you're seeing there. Okay, but it has other collection, or maybe if you click here it will lead you here or that. If you visit my website, okay, if you visit my website, okay, though it has a page, it has other pages connected. So multiple pages connected forms a website. Okay, a single page web page. Okay, so it says that a web development can range from developing a single static page of plain text to complex applications like electronic business, e-commerce. Okay, you can go into e-commerce or social networks like Facebook and other things. So as a web development always links to writing codes for a website. Okay, to be a website to be viewed on the internet. So let's look at the duties or the works of a web designer, because a web designer is not a web developer, and a web developer is not a web designer. A designer is a designer, and a developer is a developer. All right, so let's look at the designer, some of the tasks. A designer looks, okay, it's all about designing the looks and feel of a website, how the website looks like, the kind of colors that is used, the kind of fonts, whether font style, the font size, okay, the images, how the images are positioned, how will be positioned, okay, the kind of branding that will be involved, creating a visual mockup, okay, a template of that website using these templating softwares. Okay, so a designer is all about designing or designing the view of the website. Okay, so for instance, an architect, okay, an architect ends up designing the plan of a building. Okay, so a website designer is like an architect. Okay, good. Now a web developer also brings the website mockup to life on the internet. So after the designer had created the templates, the web developer look at the design and then writes codes, okay, that matches the design. So basically, when you pick the scenario of a mansion being built, the architect is the designer, and then the contractor, okay, good, or the mason is the developer. Okay, so he looks at the architect's plan, that is the architecture drawing of the mansion, and then replicate the thing by using cement and other things, creating foundation and stuff. Okay, good. So web developer needs to do HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These three things, at least for front end, though there are other things that a web developer does, but these three things are major things that a web developer should know. You cannot do anything without the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Very important. So some of the technologies that are used by web designers, that is Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. I didn't include XD. Okay, there's Adobe XD, which is also very good. Technologies also end up doing UI, user interface, and then user experience. They also get into branding. Okay, web designers end up into branding, maybe the kind of colors that they should use to represent the brand, the typography, anything related to the font style. They can even create new fonts. Okay, they can even come up with new fonts, especially web designers that have done calligraphy as a course back in university or high school or any kind of category of education. And then there's InDesign, okay, that you can use in designing the website. So I recommend Lunacy. I didn't include it here, but I recommend Lunacy. I would include it in the description. Okay, Lunacy and Figma. I like Lunacy because Lunacy is free, it is open source, and it is loaded with a lot of features. Figma, you can collaborate on Figma to create your designs and stuff. Okay, so the last thing is on the developer, the kind of technologies that a developer uses. Here I stated front-end web development, but it's supposed to be developer. So a web developer needs to make use of these technologies, that is HTML, CSS, and then PHP or Python or JavaScript or .NET or any other language, maybe Java together with the HTML, CSS, and other things. And then there's WordPress. WordPress is not a language. WordPress is a web builder. Okay, we use WordPress in building applications without coding, so it's more like drag and drop. Okay, so this will be the end of the introduction to Web 101. So Web 101 section 1 continues, and if you have any questions to ask, feel free to send me these questions. If you are not able to access my mail, you can use other platforms that we can communicate. So thank you for your time.